Hello guys, good morning, happy fall, all the good things today. Of course, in South Carolina we have beautiful weather again. I had a long sleeve shirt on, just hoping for the coolness, but of course I had to change because we all know how that works here. In the very early morning it's a little crisp, and then mid-morning you feel that humidity come in. And by afternoon, we're back in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. So that's how it is here. But anyway, I'm still in the fall mood. I'm still in the fall spirit of things. So I'm trying to work my way through some new fall recipes. So what I have here is, I'm actually just gonna put this back on here, turn my flame up. So this morning, I wanted to show you guys a new recipe that I tried. I've had spaghetti squash before. As a matter of fact, I just started eating spaghetti squash a few years ago with my daughter. She lived with me and she's a very healthy eater, and so she introduced me to it, and we just would bake it in the oven with marinara and stuff. So I've already gone ahead and I've cut them in half and I've taken the seeds out and stuff, and since I love gardening so much, I'm going to save the seeds for next year, and I'm going to plant them and see if I can get my own spaghetti squash instead of having to buy one. So I cut it in half because I'm going to show you the recipe today would really fill both of these halves, but I'm just going to fill one today because honestly I made it the other day and my husband and I ate it, so now I'm going to have to eat it again, but I don't mind because it's going to be a great lunch for me. So I did go ahead and I cut the spaghetti squash, in half this way, and I cleaned it out so you have like a little boat, like a little cavity, which is perfect for filling. And usually if you don't want to put anything in it, you could just drizzle it with olive oil and put on salt and pepper, but I want to fill it today. I wanted to make it a little bit different for my husband because he's a meat eater. So when I said, I'm going to make spaghetti squash parmigiana, he was like, is there any meat in it? And I was like, actually, yes, there is. So we're good to go here. So I've already have some meat browning up in this pan right here. And I used a really lean ground beef. You could use sausage if you wanted. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken. Any of those works. I have this little handy little thing that I use, and it just kind of breaks the meat up for you, so it's not so hard. So I went ahead and I kind of cooked it through already. So now I'm going to turn this one on. And in this pan, we're going to kind of make a bolognese with this. So in this pan, I went ahead and I sauteed carrots, onions, and garlic already. And to it now, I have some mushrooms in here. These are just like the white button mushrooms. And I chopped them also really small because you don't want to get like anything big. You want to take bites, and I'm always all about that bite, that nice small bite. So we're going to saute up the mushrooms, and they don't take long at all. We're going to put a little salt and pepper on them because, that's all the flavoring that we're going to get. So they're going to caramelize down, with those carrots and onions. You could add celery in here if you want. If you didn't want the mushrooms, you could leave them out as well. This is just my choice. The other day when I made it for my husband, I did not put the mushrooms in it. And when we were eating it, I said to myself, it would go really good with mushrooms. So today I added the mushrooms for you guys. I do have some marinara here already that we're going to be using. And I've got some Parmesan Reggiano. I've got some shredded mozzarella. And I just ran out to the garden and picked this. It's just the best. It's funny because I get on my food deliveries at the restaurant, I order basil sometimes just because I take it from the garden, but sometimes we go through a lot. So I order it, and when I bring mine in and then I get it from my distributor, my kitchen staff is funny because they're like, JJ, yours smells so good. And it's really true. Homegrown is like so fragrant and everything. It's not grown in a hot house or anything like that. It's out in God's sunshine. Okay, so I'm going to just chop up my basil now that I've talked about it so much. It's got to be my favorite herb. I actually wish they had a perfume that was like basil. My wall over here to my left is green, and believe it or not, the paint color is basil. So Okay, so I'm going to also add this in to my vegetables that are sauteing here. And it already looks pretty because you have the orange from the carrots, you have the onions, you have the garlic, and the garlic was also from my garden. I did a whole bunch and I had it hanging and it cured. So now I'm able to eat them and use them, and I love them. So we're browning this up, and what we're going to do, we're going to fill this spaghetti squash, and then we're going to put it in the oven. We're going to bake it. We're going to put marinara over it, and we're going to put the gooey mozzarella on top of it, and it just bakes and it becomes so delicious. And there was no real perfect way of eating it. You know, my husband and I, we ate out of the same squash boat. You know, I gave him a fork, we had a fork, and we both just ate out of it. Good morning, Pam. How are you? I miss you. I haven't seen you at the restaurant in a while. I know you are busy, girl. I also wanted to thank everybody for ordering the cookbook. The sales have been through the roof, so I'm like super excited, and in it are some really good recipes. And now that I keep making all these things, people are like, well, is this in the book? And I'm like, no. So I'm really sorry. I really should be cooking more things out of the book. Okay, so I think our mushrooms are pretty much sauteed down. You know, they're soft already. Doesn't take long for mushrooms. And what I'm going to do is I'm just in the same pan. Now, I used really lean ground beef. Otherwise, you know, you have that grease that's in there and you don't want that. So I used 94.6. Now that's super lean. And look, there's like no grease in this pan whatsoever. So, but if you use like an 80-20, you know, ground beef, just kind of drain the grease out of it, because you don't want it to go into your vegetables here and make it greasy. All right. I have Pepe at my feet down here, and you know, I have bought this pig about 4 different beds to sleep in. I went just this week and I bought him this really nice big cozy bed, has like a little cap over it because pigs like to like snuggle down in and they like to burrow. Won't use it. He prefers to lay on the kitchen rug. And at night, now he even sleeps in my son's room on the rug. It's incredible. But wherever he's happy, but now I've got an overload of pig beds or dog beds, whatever you want to call them. All right, to this, I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan. So basically, we're just making like a bolognese here. And that's what made my husband like it, because the meat in it. That was the first thing he said, is there meat in it? Of course, love. But if you wanted to make this vegetarian, you could leave out the beef and just fill the cavity of this squash up with all vegetables, same thing. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of marinara into the sauce here. And this is just our, you know, amici sauce. Smells good. I could eat this right out of this pan right now. All right, and we're just gonna kind of get it moistened up because we don't want it just to be so dry in there. But we've got all the good things in here, the garlic, the basil. Now we've got the sauce, we've got mushrooms, beef. It's perfect. You could also do this with zucchini. If you had like zucchini, you could take the centers out of those and you could fill it with these as well. And then you could put that in the oven like a Parmesan as well. I've never done like an acorn squash with these, but maybe you could. Okay, so we're gonna do the next step now. So I have a little casserole dish here, and I've already gone and sprayed it with the little spray. And I'm going to take my zucchini here, or my squash. Let me get that. And I'm just going to fill it up. So I'm filling it all inside with this good, delicious stuff. Now, this was half of my recipe, and look how much still that I have in here. And I filled ours up the other day pretty good. So this would definitely do like the other half of this. It would definitely fill up the other half. So if it was just you and somebody, you know, you could do one squash. This would definitely feed you. So of course, you know, I put the recipe up. Okay, so we've got this baby filled up pretty good. We're going to put a little more sauce now on the bottom here, because we have to always give that something to rest on. And also, when this sauce cooks in the oven, it gets nice and warm, and then you can just drizzle it on top of this. Okay, we're going to put it on there. Going to take a tiny bit of the olive oil just to get around the outer rim of the squash, because it'll get nice and golden brown that way. And we're going to put a little bit more sauce now on the top of it. We're just layering, you know, you just want everything to stay nice and moist in there. We don't want it to get dried out in the oven. I'm going to turn this down now. And then on the top, we're going to put our mozzarella. I'm a little overboard, but you can never have enough cheese. And then I'm going to top it off with just a little bit more fresh parm. I mean, this looks pretty massive already, doesn't it? I mean, and now I covered mine with aluminum foil. And, you know, a little trick, guys, for aluminum foil, when you go to put it over the top and it's going to obviously touch this, spray the aluminum foil with the Pam spray. You know, just pick it up, spray, and then when you put it down, it won't stick. We use that as a catering. Sometimes when we're making big caterings at the restaurant, the pans are overflowing and we're like, oh no, we got to put the top on, it's going to stick. Just spray it with that spray and it comes out great. Okay, so this is going to go in a 375-degree oven for about 50 minutes, and then you take the top off. And then for the last 10 minutes, you just let this cheese get golden on the top. So 50 minutes, and then take the aluminum off, and then you put it back in, and it'll get nice and golden. And I've got one right here that I want to show you. And look how they come out. Look how beautiful this is. This was in the oven. It's still nice and warm. This was one that I made with my husband. This was the other half of the one that I made with my husband. So I'm going to move this, and I'm just going to try to show you guys what the inside looks like. So, and this squash inside is, oh my goodness, I never knew spaghetti squash could be so good. And you know, in the inside, it's still juicy. Like, it's got the cheese. See all this? All this just comes up with it. You got the cheese. And I said to my husband, how does it taste? Because, you know, I always go by him because he's very picky with Italian food. He's got to have meat and everything. So I said to him, how is it? And he goes, honestly, it was really good. So I got the approval. And you know what? That consistency of the spaghetti strings of it, it just makes you feel like you're eating a bowl of spaghetti. That's Parmesan on top, but you know, you have like the bolognese in it with the little sauce. It's so good, guys. It's filling. I'm going to tell you, it's also filling. So, so it's perfect dinner. You'll definitely probably have some leftovers. I will post the recipe today. I didn't do it the other day. I had a cooking class yesterday, so you know, I didn't get a chance. I can't stop eating it now. But I will put it up. See, and the more that you dig into the squash, the more the strings come out. And it's just like spaghetti. It's so good, and it's really healthy for you. So this is a nice alternative to pasta. I know, I can't believe I said that. Because, you know, I'm a pasta queen. But it's really delicious. I highly recommend, guys. And I wanted to show you one little thing. Today, I have a lemon tree, and this lemon tree is unbelievable. This is my lemon, and this is a store-bought lemon. I'm not kidding you. No, it's not a grapefruit. No, it's not a melon. It's a lemon. It's called a Ponderosa lemon. I had to look it up because I didn't know it when I bought it, and these massive lemons were hanging off the tree. So I picked it, you know, when it wasn't quite all the way ripe yet, but it will continue to ripen. But I will use this lemon for one lemon for weeks. So look at the difference, guys, when you grow your own and you get one at the store, which is like 50 cents for this little thing. Can you imagine? This is like a $10 lemon. So now I can have it in my drinks and everything. So what is I'm trying to read this. Something. I can't read. My eyes are so bad. I will answer it in a couple of minutes. But anyway, guys, I'm proud of my lemon. I wanted to show you. And I'm going to enjoy now my spaghetti squash. And I hope you guys have a good day as well. Try this recipe and check it out. Come on, Pep. Let's go, baby. Come on, Pep.